I had this conversation with a friend, right? And I was joking around. I'm like, yo, if you fear me, I love that.
And then my mom just pulled the thing from under me. And I literally instantly started panicking. I'm like, oh, I'm going down.
Women wicked.
Wicked, dog. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm going down. It's over with. My mom was like, hey, bro, just stand up. I'm like, oh yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Simma, your boy Deluxe, your boy Ronto, and your boy Blackstar, and we are here with another video. Maybe it gets better.
How's everyone's week? How's mental health going?
Shit, mental health's been, for me, kind of an issue. It's a sleep issue again, yo. Sleep has been messing me up, and then, honestly, earlier today, I just felt the mood like I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, facts.
Yo.
Nah, it was one of those days for
I
sure.
didn't want to get out of my chair. I swear I had to, use the washroom to go pee, but I was like, no, I'm sitting here. I don't want to get up.
Do you feel like it's the weather, though, contributing to that?
Yeah, because I stepped out, the weather, all gloomy, no sun, all rain. You could hear the rain trickling. Those are perfect, sleep times, you know? You just want to have a nice rest, but I had work to do. I had editing, I had actual work and all that type of stuff, coding and stuff, but I was just on my phone. I'd rather just scroll at that point.
So it's that time of the year. Gloomy time.
Gloomy, man.
Yeah.
For me, my mental health, I feel like, when you're busy, you don't really have time to think about, what's been going on, mentally. So right now, it's just been a busy time for me. There's, a lot of things that I'm trying to put into motion for the summer, events, work-related stuff. So I just been booked and busy, So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Mentally, I think I'm in a good space.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Deluxe?
I feel the same way. I feel like sometimes the weather makes me a little, drowsy, just keeps me in.
Yeah.
And plus, I be working in, community work and social work, so it's kind of, the same thing. Again, you're pouring into others. So I've been trying to find, time for myself to really do a lot of, self-care. I've been doing, 5K runs every once in a while with the Kickback Foundation. So that's
doing 5K runs?
I've been doing it for 5 weeks now. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's good. I'm not gonna lie, the runner's high it's something else. Even for myself, I've been seeing a lot of improvement in mental health, even my body and everything. And then plus when you're running with other a run group and stuff like that, yo, these guys motivate you, bro. I be yo, I'm running, and I sometimes be having a conversation. I'm like, yo, I can't do both. I gotta do one or the other.
And what, they take your mind off it now while you're running?
Yeah, they do, but they be in your ear motivating. It's yo, 1 more kilometer, you got it. I'm like,
I did not need to know that. Yeah.
Yo, they be motivating you, and it's a good type of community that they fostered over there. And even for me, coming from Jane and Finch all the way downtown, to do this every Saturday, it's a commitment. It's something I like to do. I've been bringing out some of the homies from the area to come out and experience this as well. So I've been in a good mental health space because of that, once a week buffer.
Yeah,
that's sick.
It's good that you're getting some exercise in, and you're actually outside. That's very important for us because we get busy. We don't get time to really focus on being around good vibes, good people, and exercising and stuff. So. Yeah, pat yourself on the back.
Health is wealth. Health is wealth.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, man? How's everything for you?
Yeah.
My week's been alright. I'm chilling, Been a good time, I can't talk to them about that stuff on camera, but
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. It's been good. It's been
a little
lovely.
off-camera conversation.
It's been lovely. It's been lovely. But right now, I'm just I think I'm in a manifestation stage. I just want to I could just see my future. Now I'm just trying to figure out what pieces I need to put together to make it happen. So I started putting up certain pictures around the place. I changed the background on my computer to the car I want.
Are you talking about a vision board kind of?
Yeah, that type of shit. But I don't want to do a full on vision board, but little stuff around me, like I could see it.
Trick your subconscious into
Yeah,
believing it's
yeah.
real.
Like change my phone background, change the computer background. I probably like put a picture on the wall or something just to see it. Like they say seeing is believing. So
You know what they say? The world's yours.
facts. I'm just trying to go get that shit right now. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, let's get into the topics, y'all. First topic. Do you guys think fear is a good thing or a bad thing?
I'll start. So, I think it's a good thing to some degree. There's a show called Berserk, right? It's an anime, and just to summarize the main premises of it, it's about this character that goes through like a lot of like trials and tribulations, and there was like a situation where he has this armor that gets him through like pain, and he has no fear. But with that being said, it teaches the viewer a lesson where it's like, yo, without fear, it puts you into stupid situations that you can lose your life from, situations that make you do a lot of reckless stuff. So in my opinion, I feel like fear is like needed. It stops us from doing things that may hurt us. You know what I mean? Like if it's jumping off a building to another building, like fear will stop us from doing it. Or if it's crossing the road, fear will stop us from doing it. If it's like rush hour. So it's necessary. But sometimes it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like talking to the girl that you like, you're just fearful that she might say no.
Yeah.
Like what's the worst thing she can say? No.
No, yeah, you can move on with it.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm thinking about for fear. Like, I think for a guy like Berserk, he's trained to handle his fear. He uses his fear as an indicator, whereas normal people, like, they don't understand how to use their fear that way. So fear, like, I feel like you should always try to not have any fear and think of that emotion as excitement instead. Otherwise, you're going to trick yourself out for whatever you want to do.
I think fear is like very like circumstantial. Like if you put it in that way, fear is a good thing. But like if you put it in a way of like putting yourself in harm's way and not really being mindful of the situation, kind of just doing it recklessly, fear is needed. So yeah.
What about you, Deluxe? What do you think?
Cause I seen this thing, like I actually like learned a lot from like 50 Cent, like his podcast and everything like that. And I think that question of like, well, do you need fear? And he's like, yeah, because if you don't have fear, then you don't really have common sense, because you need to be fearful of certain moments, and interactions and everything. Especially in the world that we live in, it's like you can't really be oblivious to fear, right? Fear will come into different capacities. Like, yes, you could be talking to your crush and stuff like that, and you'll have fear. You might have that butterflies, right? But, like, in certain situations where you got to grow, you're going to be faced with that fear of, like, getting out your comfort zone a little bit, too. It's like, okay, if I'm getting into public speaking and I'm so nervous and so fearful to even give my first opportunity a shot, I wouldn't be here in this position, because that's what I needed for myself. I knew I was fearful in that moment, but sometimes you just have to do it. And then when you do it, you're like, oh, I really was just psyching myself out, because, okay, yes, I could improve on what I did in the beginning, but everything else is like, it doesn't really matter. I think the fear comes from like you thinking or overthinking things that like haven't happened yet.
I like what you said about just like, going through public speaking and then like, overcoming that, because it's a part of character development, right? Like having an issue where you're fearful of something, but once you overcome it, it's so much more of a reward and an experience that you take with other experiences. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I see fear as something positive, because, like you guys been saying, it keeps you in a space where you're not doing too much or too little.
Yeah.
Right. But I believe it. You should focus on your levels of fear. Like if your fear is too high, you're gonna be scared to go outside. You're gonna be scared to interact with people on a basic level.
Yeah.
Right. And then too little fear, you're, like you guys said, you're just doing reckless shit. You're being an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
And not really thinking about the consequences of life. And then also like fear can make or break you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you could get into situations where you didn't even know you had a fear for that until, like most people, they don't know what it's like to get punched in the face. So they don't have a fear of getting punched in the face. But when they get punched in the face by the wrong person and they get a black eye, now they're scared of getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? So fear, there's levels to it. So it makes or break you. It can make or break you, and you just have to be cautious and choose what you want. And choose how you're gonna use
And
your fear.
fear is actually like really taught, because I seen like this experiment where they put babies around giant snakes, and the babies are good with them. The snakes don't attack them. The babies are fine with them. They're playing with them and having no fear.
Yeah.
You develop it over time, and I think it's part of human nature where, like, we all learn fear at like a young age. Not to that extent, like that young, but like, I don't know, when you're 5, you put your hand under fire. And then, you learn that like, yo, it's gonna burn you. You feel
So now
pain,
you're scared.
so you're fearful of that, right? So
Yeah.
But it's even funny because me and him were in a situation like this weekend where like we kind of learned about, like, not obviously we knew about fear, but like we were in a situation where like fear was a proponent of our situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could have went left, but like, we sorted out the situation. So it's just funny that like this was a topic. It's full circle moment. Funny enough.
Yeah. I think it's necessary, fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people need it. Like, how they say like you could run like a company or organization with either fear or love. Yeah. Sometimes fear is necessary to get shit done, because like for instance, if you weren't scared of your parents to an extent, would you be doing half of the shit?
I agree. I actually do have a question for all you guys. So what do you think is more important, or what would you want for yourself, to be feared or to be loved?
Yo, I had this conversation with a friend, right? And I was joking around. I'm like, yo, if you fear me, I love that. But it goes back to, like, the principles of the matter, right? Like, yes, there's benefits to being feared, because then people would just not ever cross you, in a sense, right? Yeah. But then, do you feel like they'll actually love you, or like maybe they'll align themselves with something that they're more scared with to make you seem like nothing scary? But versus if they have like love, like in love we hope to be mutually respected, right? That's the big component of love, like but in the situation, like, I guess in context, I think context does matter. Like, is this like,
so what, you guys need like a scenario or something?
I say like a scenario, because like if we're just choosing fear and love, then it's just like, man, like it's hard to really pick it.
Because with fear, okay, if I'm leading with fear, I feel like it's easy for someone to like backstab me because they're tired of my shit. Someone's eventually gonna get tired of your shit.
But that's the same with love. Like, if you're leading with love, you can be blindsided by your love.
Yeah, people will take advantage of your love. Yeah, of you showing so much love.
But I'd rather lose to showing love, like being a genuine person. That really shows a lot about the other person that you. Versus fear is like, yo, I'm actually making these guys scared of me.
With love, you're keeping yourself at a higher high, and then like using fear, you're like keeping everything like negative and low around you.
Like,
okay,
I know this about
I think I know the answer to my question. I would rather the love, but even if you're leading with love, you have to know when to put fear into people's hearts. You have to know when to switch it up, because when people play with you, you just gotta know to turn it off.
So I have a scenario for you guys.
Should we do the one from the weekend?
No, I was thinking more like,
because it did show like the love aspect and the fear aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? I'll say it and you let me know if it's good or not.
All right, say it.
All right, so this is this scenario, right? Like, say for example, you guys are out and about, you're with your friends and everything, and let's say that you're in a booth, right? Like in a section we all know. Let's say for example, someone double booked the booth and you're in there and you're trying to figure out something, and then someone just comes in, like barging in the booth. They're just trying to like move hard body, whatever. In that situation, what would you do? Would you like escalate the matter, or would you just show like compromise being love in that sense? And mind you, you're in a place that you're not very familiar with. You're not really like
compromise.
Yeah, wait, you're double booked?
Like,
the
say
booth
for
is double
example,
booked?
you're in a booth, right? Yeah. And like say yes, it gets double booked, but you're in it first, right? and the next group
I'm
comes in.
I'm already here. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. It's their fault. We're already here. Kick up.
That's true.
So you guys have to go talk to whoever put this shit together because we're already here.
But let's say that
First come, first serve.
first come, first serve. But let's say that the person that got it, they said, like, yo, they got the okay from the other guy, right? Like the main, whoever the owner of the club is, right? Let's say that they got the okay, so they came in trying to like big dog the situation to be like, yo, they're already in the booth at this point. They jumped in somehow, some way. And now they're like, yo, mind you, this is an area you haven't been here before. This is a club you haven't been here before. You don't know who this man's is or whoever. Like you're in a disadvantaged situation at this point.
Okay, so you're saying fear could, okay.
So what would you rather be? Feared in that moment where you take advantage and you're like, yo, I'm just gonna do whatever I gotta do, and
or just use
compromise
and use love.
Yes.
In that situation,
yeah.
yo, it really depends how the other people are acting. If they're acting all hard body and shit, oh yeah, I'm turning up stuff.
One person was actually
nah. But no. Okay, in a situation like that, it's probably a group of people coming, right?
Correct.
So if it's just one person out of that group that's coming in all hard body and shit, and everyone else around them trying to calm him down, like, yo, relax, it's not that deep. Okay, I might come at it differently. But if that one guy is gassing up the situation and everyone else is starting to get gassed up, oh no, we're not. Get the fuck out the booth now.
Yeah.
Like, nah, no one's coming in here. Like,
See, and that's a fair situation.
Yeah.
I feel like with what we had to go through in that event, it was very similar, right? Like in this situation, we had one person that was moving out of character, and then we had one person in our group that was like gonna stand on the values, right?
Yeah, he was very reactive of the situation,
and rightfully so, because it's like it's a fair concept, like and things were done that like could have escalated it, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like we chose the bigger method because when we're in Toronto, right, we don't. Things could turn into things that like never off of a small any moment. And mind you, we're in an area in a place that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
So we don't want to put ourselves in a disadvantage. This is chess, right? We're not playing checkers, right?
Facts.
So if you're in this situation, it's in this moment. If someone was like, "Yo, I'm feared. I'm gonna do whatever I want. If a man steps on my toes, like it's done."
Yeah.
That could have turned out to be something worse, right? You don't know what's going on in the club. I know Toronto. I'm not gonna speak much about Toronto, but that situation could have turned to something else, right?
Yo, it definitely could have escalated.
And that's what I'm saying, like, 'cause, like the characters that in that area, in that section or whatever, they look like they didn't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just say that much.
All I gotta say is that some people weren't getting like searched, so
That's what I'm saying.
do with that information as you will.
I think if you can compromise, like you guys can have just a way better night because you're bringing a bigger group, bigger party, and having way more fun, spreading around the liquor and all that.
At that point, okay. In that point, okay, if you are looking for a compromise, the best compromise I can see is like, yo, the club owes us both a bottle, and we could just you guys pick a side, we pick a side, and fuck it.
The two groups press the
press them for a free bottle,
or get your money back.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing about Toronto. There ain't no such thing as free bottles. That's the thing about Toronto.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, because we're in a club, most likely I'll probably compromise. Because of all the
I
things
feel like
we
just
added.
letting it go. That's the biggest thing. It's like, yo, like you can't really do a lot with that situation.
There's no point in ruining your night because at the end of the day,
I'd rather live a next
someone
day.
could
end
their life.
Yeah, and it's over petty things. It's nothing like, yo, no punches were thrown, no nothing. It was just words.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe, that was it. This
It
word.
was just like egos, bro.
It was just egos. It's a
Egos
battle of
being thrown
egos.
around.
Like, yo, the man could have just came in with a lot more like love and respect and be like, yo, we got sent here too. Like, what's going on, kind of thing.
No,
Instead
but-
of being like, yo, I'm gonna press you guys and see if they bend. We're not like go to fold like that. We're not moved, but it really just takes one person to really mess it up for everyone.
Is there really no chance of getting your money back if you're
No, we didn't pay for the booth. Like we put no bread down. Like
we were holding
in
it
there.
down for somebody.
We're about to like get it, and then but the situation was that they were moving weird about that, so they're like, yo, all right, just give it to someone else. So then that's when the two groups like kind of met, and the owner of that club, that man just didn't like. You notice how the man didn't show up in that situation. The man just like stayed out of it.
See,
So
now
that's
fear.
messy though. That's messy.
That's fear,
though,
right? He had fear of dealing with the situation and stood and stayed out of it. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's worse too, because like you're telling me two random groups with no direction. Yo, a man told me this, a man told me that. It's like, yo, we could have been.
We
like,
could have
yo.
crashed off.
Yeah, we could have been like, yo, my bottles are on the way. Like,
But it was
yo.
funny because we outnumbered them too. It was 6 of us and 4 of them. So
Exactly.
it definitely could have been a sticky situation.
It could have been
one
yeah.
of them acting hot. That's crazy.
No, but the thing is, they had a person that was actually moving like peaceful about it.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, yo, don't mind that guy. Like, yo, this is not the situation. It is like no harsh. Like he that escalated. He knew that it wasn't like his friend was just overreacting. He knew that.
Yeah.
Cause then
I rated him too because he came up to me. He's like, yo, there's no problems. Like, I just want to have a good night and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, like, we're not even on that type of time. So you need a person that can de-escalate the situation in every friend group because it makes things so much smoother.
Was the guy who was acting high, like, did he seem like he was off the liquor a bit?
Probably.
Yo, I think that guy was off
he
a lot of
was.
things, but I think it was just a lot of things too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it didn't look like he was like an appeasing kind of guy. Like, yo, ask first, like,
Yeah,
It was one of those situations. So it's just like you're not gonna win with that type of person. And I always say this, and I feel like anyone that hears this is like, if you have everything to lose, why lose that? With someone that has nothing to lose. Like their ego and their pride is all that they have. So if you have a stable job, you got a life, you got a family, whatever, you got someone that loves you, like don't risk it all for that moment. Like just to seem like you lost, like I don't care.
So would you say like everyone's level of fear is like based off of the knowledge they have?
That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Because if you know something's negative is gonna happen with your action, you're gonna be more fearful of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't know something, I mean, also being ignorant does create fear too, because a lot of things that we don't know, like space, for instance, that makes us fearful, or like the ocean.
That's why we're talking about like little kids when they like touch fire for the first time. They didn't know, and now they know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say is one of your fears?
Who's going first?
Yo, me for fear is height.
Height?
Like
That's crazy.
I want to go skydiving because they say once you do that, you'll never have fear for anything else ever again. Or at least like everything is like dwindled down a bit.
It's
But,
funny
like,
that you say that because I'm in the same boat as you where like I'm afraid of heights. I don't fuck with roller coasters. I think after watching Final Destination, there was this one.
Yo, that has
there's
yo,
one
I
part-
can't lie. That movie has ruined a lot of shit for me.
Yeah.
Whoever made that movie, yo, something's wrong with you.
But he
people.
probably saved a lot of lives at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, after watching that movie, I did not fuck with roller coasters. So like skydiving essentially isn't something I would actually do, but it looks like something so lit and fun.
I'll go to the simulator. I can't lie. I'll go to the simulator.
simulator.
Or like iFly or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to try those. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about a helicopter?
Nah, Kobe. Helicopter took Kobe out.
Rest
I'm
in
good.
peace, Kobe.
I'm good.
R.I.P. Kobe.
I'm good.
I don't know. It just really depends. Like for me, heights is like I don't really do a lot of heightful things. Like, you
Bro,
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yourself on the ground.
this thing is not even a word.
That is not.
Yeah.
But in this situation, like I don't do a lot of things where I'm on like heights or something like that. Like roller coaster, yeah, but I wouldn't say like I'm afraid to go on it. I just don't like that effect of like plunging myself.
Yeah.
Like, would you guys consider climbing Mount Everest?
Nah, I'm good. Why?
Even like
Why?
halfway?
You know, a lot of people died on
Halfway.
Mount Everest.
Yo,
Yeah,
I watch
a
the
lot.
videos. I look at the pictures. I don't need nothing else, and it's cold. Like I don't do cold.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I'm good.
It's
I'm
like a
good.
bucket
Yeah.
list thing, just to like.
Nah,
Say
on
that
my
you did
bucket
it.
list.
Wait, are you saying that because you want to do it? Because other people
Or
did it?
I'm not-
people did that.
I'm not
Other
gonna.
people did it. It's like,
I'm
no,
not
this
gonna
makes
lie,
sense.
yo. That sounds like some Caucasian activity.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because
Too much
I
pigment in
swear
my
the
skin.
statistic, I think I seen something like it's like more people have died trying to hike Mount Everest
Yeah,
than actually succeed.
They're actually
Yeah.
reaching the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Not to
Stay
do it.
off of that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I like the ground. You know, level, nice and level.
Jeez.
So what was your fear? What's one of your fears?
I feel yo, this is gonna get deep, and I swear I'm not trying to do this like purposefully and anything, but I feel like sometimes I'm fearful of myself. Yeah.
Me versus me.
Yeah, me
versus
versus
me.
me, because I feel
Okay.
like a lot of times, like, yes, I could do a lot, but I also doubt myself to the point where it's like, yo, why am I doubting myself? I've done this before. And so I'm afraid of that aspect of like maybe putting yourself out there. And I feel like most of the things I could really accomplish just by doing it, working on it, you know, that first barrier is like, oh, am I good enough to be there? And I feel like after talking to a lot of people, it's like imposter syndrome is really real. Like when you're doing your craft, your business, whatever, and you're like, oh, I want to do this, but then when you get the opportunity to do this, it's like for me, I'll take it because in the moment you just can't turn back at that point. I'd rather just go in what I got, try to, showcase who I am really. If I make mistakes, I'm not gonna hold myself fully accountable like till it's done. But then really it's trying to improve. Like when I hold myself accountable and I feel like I'm my biggest critic, like no one could really criticize me more than myself. That's where the magic happens. And that's where I feel like that's when I started getting into public speaking. That's when I got into community where that's when I started doing the author thing. And then even coming on the podcast, like you're putting yourself out there. Like people are going to watch that. Like to me, it doesn't really bother me now after like how many episodes we've done. Yeah. But it does take a lot out of you to really put yourself out there. So I do empathize with creatives. I do empathize with people that are like in a slump and they're trying to get out of it because it's easier said than done. So for myself, I'm fearful of myself, but I'm also trying to work on that. And I think just loving yourself is really how you help with that. And it could come with different aspects, self-care, giving yourself like space for grace, like not to allow yourself to like judge yourself all the time, like really and truly like be proud of every little moment. And I mean it.
Yeah, you have to definitely give yourself room to grow. You know, you can't just be punching, and not expect it to hurt after a while.
You gotta get some, like you said, room to grow. Give yourself some time to like reevaluate your situation and just like give yourself grace. Like, work on your self-esteem, your confidence, because at the end of the day, like your confidence and your self-esteem is everything. Like that gives you the push to really do things. So confidence is something that you have to
constantly work on.
Yeah, constantly work
on your confidence. Yeah.
That imposter syndrome stuff is hard, man.
Deep.
It's because like that feels like you're in like such low energy, and you're really trying to force yourself through it to like prove to yourself. And yeah, if you can do it, that's great stuff.
I feel like everybody goes through it though.
Of course. At some point in your life. But what would I say? So your fear, basically, fear of yourself and like fear of failure. Basically.
Yeah, I would say something along those lines for sure. I think even like fear of failure is even a big one too, because it's like you could feel like a failure and you're the most accomplished person in the room.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's that like self-doubt piece or like that imposter syndrome or that like, yo, I always need to be bigger, or I'm my biggest critique, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like even with that self, it's like you can't be afraid of that part of yourself. You got to really embrace it instead of like trying to like repress it.
Okay. Yeah, facts. Mm-hmm. So you're scared of heights, failure yourself. I'm gonna say rats. I don't fuck with rats. I don't like rats, bro.
Don't go to New York.
You feel me? I stay out of
like the New York rats or just rats?
No. I went to New York for the first time a couple years ago. I'm deep in the city. Where am I? The Bronx. We're walking across the street.
Dirtiest rats.
Yo, I thought it was a possum or like a little cat or something.
You wish.
Yo, I blinked and I looked again. It was the rat was like this big.
Looking like Master Splinter.
Like, nah, for real. It was disgusting. Yo, I don't think I ran that fast in my life, yo. Yo, like like my mom and my sister were there, and I booked it. Like I don't even care. Like yo, I almost tackled someone. Like it was crazy. Like they got in my way, so I was about to just run them over. Like it was like I was not having it. And then I had to like, okay, I'm tired now. It's not that deep. All right, it's just a rat. But I can't do it.
You know what pisses me off about them? When they jump.
That's what I'm like. What the hell?
Yeah, you've been around a lot of rats. I didn't know they.
Why did they have hops like that?
Like Ratatouille, I couldn't watch that movie. Stuart Little, can't watch it.
Stuart Little,
I can't watch Stuart Little, dog. Like I watched it, but on the inside, it's like something turning. Like I'm just uneasy.
Nah, down in the comments, you gotta ask: is Ronto tripping for not watching?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nah.
Yeah, you know what Stuart Little reminds me of? George Strings.
Yeah.
I love shows like that.
You know that was actually a Canadian show too.
It was?
George Strings, yeah.
No, that show was tough. Super. One of my favorites.
I could be wrong. Someone fact check me, but from what I know, like I think George Strings.
I think it is.
I think so because we a lot of cartoons are actually made in Canada.
Yeah. Super surprising.
Yeah. So, okay, next question. How have you overcome fear or doubt in the past?
It's so funny that you said that because it kind of just ties back into like what we were literally just talking about. And I think overcoming fear and doubt, something that we go through literally every day of our life. Like, as much as we will overcome it, like we go through it again and again. So I think a method of coping or trying to like remedy it would be positive affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Like, being around good energy. Try not to isolate yourself, not to be in your head. We definitely go through those periods where we have like a lot of negative thoughts. Like, there's a lot of cases where, I'll down myself and not feel in the mood to do something. But at the end of the day, it's like when we go through things, it's only temporary. That's the beauty of trials and tribulations. They're only temporary. You know what I mean? So just with that being said, like those affirmations, just telling yourself like, yo, this is only temporary. Like, I'm doing great. Or if it's a situation where, you're down, you're not feeling the best, you're messing up, take a deep breath and just tell yourself like, I'm just having a bad day. We'll do better now. Like, the next day, we'll do better the next day. Or actually put in the effort to like, make sure you don't make those same mistakes, right? Like, there's always if there's a will, there's a way. So that's just how I look at, being fearful of my life or being in a negative position or whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
Okay. So how have you overcome fear or doubt in the past?
Like I said earlier, like with the berserk thing, instead of like telling myself that it's fear, I try to trick myself and say that it's adrenaline. I'm not afraid, I'm excited. And I try to use that to force myself to get through the situation, whatever I'm in. Yeah, like if I have to like go up on stage, perform, or like uh present, I mean, then like I tell myself I'm excited for this. My heart is racing because I'm excited. This is something big that I've been wanting to do, that I've been looking forward to, and the time is now. This is the present. Just get into it.
I like that. I like that. What about you, Deluxe?
Oof. I think the biggest one was just like, just go out and do it. Like, whether or not you think that it's good enough or you like, yo, I could always improve on it. The biggest thing that I felt like I did was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go try it. I'm gonna learn from it. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. I start saying that in my head, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I've been here before. I know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna give it the best thing possible. And I think just being able to try to connect the message to other people is another way of like how I was able to fit things in. Just because I know how I feel about it, so then I could just talk from a personal point of view, right? But then once you look in the audience or you're doing something or like you're creating something, the biggest thing is that, do you like it? And if you figure out that answer is yes, everything else doesn't really matter. Like, if you feel like, yo, you did the best thing that you're doing, then the other thing is the business aspect is like, okay, how can I promote this better? How can I connect with different communities? How can I maybe make the product better to fit into this? This doesn't have to be the finalized product. It just has to be something that it just has to be out there.
Yeah.
And then once you figure that out, then anything that you do with your craft, it could always be improved. So you never have a fixed mindset. Always have a growth mindset. So that's what I really learned with a lot of the work that I'm doing, is just to always keep trying to learn. Like, I will say I'm always a student of the game, and that I'm always willing to learn. I never took myself for like, oh, I know everything, I'm not gonna learn from someone. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, someone might tell you something, or they might reveal something that you might not even know about. And you're like, wow, I never really thought of it like that. Like, let me try to incorporate this into stuff that I'm doing, right? Or stuff that I'm making. And I feel like that's the biggest way I'm able to collaborate more. And that's a big part too, is like, just because I'm doing something doesn't mean it's the end all end. I could always collaborate with someone that's doing something similar or the same thing and be like, yo, like, do you feel like we could collaborate on this together, grow together? And that's actually taken me a lot further with the things that I'm working with. So just trying to be the best possible, but also trying to give yourself like space for growth.
Yeah. And I think a thing that people need to take into consideration, especially with doubt, is it's okay to fail.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with us doubting ourselves, it's the fear of failing.
Yeah.
So, like, once you realize that, like, yo, like, most of the time, I'm probably going to fail doing this, and you know, come to terms with that, it helps with the process. So don't be so hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Like viewers, us, like best thing to do is not to be so hard on yourself.
Facts. And like life is just full of ups and downs. It's like we're basically living on a scale. You feel me? Once one thing goes bad, like there's gonna come a time where it goes good again. So you just have to keep pushing through and then overcome whatever it is.
But those moments where things are up and then it just goes down is
They're the worst. But like it's up to you to see how far you fall. You feel me? You have to be able to set yourself up and catch yourself whenever you do fall.
There's actually this quote that like 50 Cent said is like one of my favorite quotes. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain.
Exactly.
Trust me, like
you wouldn't enjoy all the stuff you have in the present if you didn't go through something to earn it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then, what's the saying about diamonds? Come on, somebody.
Diamond in the rough.
Pressure.
Oh, pressure creates diamonds.
Pressure creates diamonds. You feel me? So, like, yeah, we need that pressure on us to keep moving forward.
And I feel like even that point about like failure, right? I heard someone say like, you know, fall forward.
Exactly.
Fall forward.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Fall forward.
Keep
Have
falling
you guys
forward.
seen that? Like, I think it's like one of those spiritual diagrams where, like, at the top, like, let's say you have the picture of the human body, right? At the top, where your mind is, that's the
Are you talking about the chakra diagram?
chakra diagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
your chakra, like, I think green is like knowledge, and that's at your mind, your highest peak, and then your lowest is like a deep red or something, and then that's your like
You talking about
your
like the
sexual
8 gates?
desire, social.
Yeah, the anime guys are getting out of there. Unlock your mind.
And then it's like
Unlock
that's like your
chakras.
pleasure, and
Yeah.
like I'm just thinking about like how you said like teaching yourself, growing forward, and like giving yourself a growthful mindset, gaining knowledge. Like when you do that, you'll always be proud of yourself, and like you won't have that fear of yourself and stuff like that, because like you're giving yourself that uplifting feeling, so you'll always have good energy, high uplifting energy.
High vibration.
Yeah,
what
that's how you gotta keep it. Sometimes your vibrations get lowered just by life. You know, shit happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes most of the stuff you can't anticipate it. So yeah, your foundation has to be very strong. You know,
If you could keep yourself high, you'll keep fear away
Yeah,
Yeah.
from you. Like
How do you
most of the time.
Most of the time.
How do you
a
guys
lot.
feel about the law of attraction?
The law of I believe in it.
Oh,
that
yeah.
manifestation.
Yeah, the manifestation, because if I'm saying every day my leg hurts and nothing happened to my leg, but if I'm waking up every day, my leg hurts,
Yeah.
eventually you're gonna trick yourself. It's just gonna start hurting somewhere, you know. So it's like with the law of attraction, you have to speak to yourself positively. You have to do positive actions, and I believe that attracts what you truly desire to your life.
You know, you could trick your mind to basically off yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually could die.
There's this story where this guy gets locked in a freezer after work. But then like in his mind he's panicking, letting the fear get to him. It's getting so deep that he believes the freezer is going to kill him. He's about to freeze to death. He's getting colder and colder, which with each hour, each day, I don't know how long he was in there for, but it turned out to be that the freezer was never on. So he wasn't freezing. He was just locked in there.
It's so
But he
funny.
died.
It's funny because your mind's a very powerful thing, and it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
everything starts up here. I remember somebody was telling me like, yo, like you really need to sit down there and train your mind to be more disciplined, or you know, think a certain way, because it reflects on your actions. You know what I mean? So like, just piggybacking on what you just said, like yo, like if you feel like yo, I'm super cold, your body's gonna feel cold. You know what I mean? So I feel like when when people are on their like deathbeds, or like they're injured and they're on like a like I don't know, one of those.
Respiratory.
Yeah, I was gonna say a respirator or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
or whatever it's called. But yeah,
we're not making up words now. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, like if you don't have a strong mind, like strong will, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people actually pull through after these little situations, like
Yeah.
just
That's
because
why
they're
martial
very
artists
strong.
do those like special trainings where they're like no shirt, just shorts in the mountaintops, super cold and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
you're
It is a
training your mind.
mindset thing.
Yeah.
Even like I swear to you, like growing up, sometimes like I'd be in a house or something with no AC, but
Yeah.
I'm still here because I thought it wasn't that hot. It was hot, like, but I just thought it wasn't that hot, and I was able to get through it. Or like you might be going through a difficult moment, and you're like, yo, you know what, this shall pass. And then when you look back at it, you're like, wow, like that wasn't that deep. But I was really getting in my head, and I was just really trying to like, because the thing is it's like swimming, like you really will start drowning when you believe that you're falling.
Yo, I was in a okay. I'm 6'4". I'm in a 6-foot pool trying to learn how to swim. Okay, I go on my belly. I'm doing the little doggy paddle, but then I have the little thing under me,
Yeah.
and then my mom just pulled the thing from under me, and I literally instantly started panicking. I'm like, oh, I'm going down.
Women wicked.
Wicked, dog. So I'm going. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going down. It's
going
over with.
down.
My mom was like, hey, bro, just stand up. I'm like, oh yeah. Whew. But like,
The thing is, the panic set
the
in.
panic kicked in, and I literally felt like I was drowning. And I literally, if no one was there, I would have drowned myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just panicking.
Anxiety's a
Anxiety,
real
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, all I had to do was stand up. I'm taller than the pool.
And I think I started doing a lot. Like I started working in mental health a little bit more now, and then the power of mindfulness is actually really important too. To be like, you know what, like for 15, 20 minutes, I'm just gonna just do a body scan.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna think about anything. I'm not gonna judge anything that comes into my mind. All right, if this is something that I'm feeling a little anxious about, well, why am I feeling like that? Don't criticize yourself. Just be like, you know what, that feeling is there, and this is something that you could practice, do different ways. But even just like acknowledging certain thoughts in your head and be like, you know what, like, do I have to feed this, or can I just let it pass? And that's a big one. I feel like sometimes, even for myself, like I feed negative thoughts and I run with that. And then I started doing like this mindfulness or give it the 72-hour rule, where you just let it be for 72 hours. And if it's something that still keeps coming up, then I'm gonna address it some way somehow. But that's another way to embrace therapy at the same time, because you're actually talking about it with another person. And this could be like different ways too. You could just vent to your friend. That's therapy. Like you could
Facts.
sit down and read a book by the ocean, or like color a book or something like that.
Do a
Like,
puzzle.
do a puzzle. Do something that would take your mind off of it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take a step back from the situation and give yourself a different insight, and that will help change your view of the situation and actually help get rid of that fear or doubt that you have.
Meditating.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's why mental health is so important. You have to, as much as you have to strengthen your body, you have to strengthen your mind and your
Heart.
and your emotions. Your emotional health is also a big important factor, because if you're not in control of your emotions, you're gonna be a ticking time bomb, and no one's gonna be safe around you.
Crash out dummies.
Crash out dummies. You know what I'm saying? Not even that, and then you could just spoil a lot of stuff for people in your life because you're not in control of your emotions, and no one wants to be around that. So, be cautious, people. Be
Protect
cautious.
your energy, please,
Yes,
please.
please. So, with that being said, would you rather lead with fear or love? You said you would rather lead with
Love.
Come back to me.
Would I rather lead with love or fear? Honestly, I lead with love.
love. Okay, I'm leading a mixture of both. I'm gonna have the belt on my shoulder.
What's that? Wait, what's
Yo, it's actually
Describe
funny.
that.
One of the scenarios I'm gonna ask you guys for that particular question was, as a parent, what would you rather lead with, fear or love?
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. I'm talk very positive with the belt on my shoulder, so we have an understanding of what's going on.
Because I feel like both is very necessary. You
Yeah,
know, you have
for
your
sure.
loving mom, but your father that's
Yeah,
feared.
I'm
So-
a good cop, bad cop. I'm playing bad
But I
cop.
have a different reaction with that, because I've seen this many times. Like, yeah, you can have this fear thing, but if the kids really love you and they're not gonna do something out of spite. Like, they will genuinely love you because you support them through their ups and downs. If if I put belt to ass or off rip, they're gonna be like, damn, damn, dad, you didn't even let me give a chance to explain myself. I'm
Because
like,
the minute they do something wrong, they'll feel bad.
they're gonna feel, and they're gonna hide it. That's the thing with strict parents. Like
Yeah.
you raise children that gonna hide things from you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it has like there has to be a good level of both, because I can't allow you to think that you could run over me and I'm gonna just let shit slide every single time. But there's certain situations where it's not that deep. Okay, you messed up, but I don't have to teach you a lesson in that way.
Yeah.
You know?
So, have you guys watched Power?
Yeah.
You know Ghost and Tyreek?
Yeah.
Where Ghost was like, I feel like I might butcher this scenario, but like Ghost was like kind of like a loving father, I guess, to some degree. Like, you know, it's very stern and everything. But Tyreek was just a badass kid. Like, Ghost wanted the world for his son, but his son just wanted to do like foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like fear is necessary, because like, imagine if Ghost was like super loving and just like a pushover. Bro, Tyreek would have just...
Yeah, he would have been gone left way sooner.
I feel like that situation a little bit more complex, because it's like, he wanted the life that his father was living, and he didn't come from that situation. So like, it was just like, that's like living in the suburbs, right? But you want to be in the hood all the time because you see all your friends in the hood or whatever it may be. Yeah. Because then you're gonna be like, bro, like, you have a Mercedes Benz at home, like, relax, like, you know, all this stuff, and it's like, you can't really change someone's perspective on that. You could love them all, whatever.
People usually want what they don't have, you know. So they people go after the strangest things sometimes, and you're just like, why are you even concerned with that? Yeah. But they might be getting something totally different from it than what we are seeing. You know, they might be getting a different type of love or a different type of attention from that than they would at home. So they go different directions. It's very tricky, man.
And that's why some fall from grace.
Exactly. But you know, maybe it'll get better. Who knows? I hope it does for y'all. You know.
Well, that was our episode. I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe. We touched on a lot of different topics. Fear, love. Guys, comment on how you guys feel about that stuff. Mental health stuff. What else? Am I forgetting anything? What else do we cover?
Yeah, just overcoming your battles, y'all.
Yeah. Like take every day one step at a time, and you know, just like Deluxe said, give yourself some grace, you know? But yeah, that was our episode.
Stay away from the rats, y'all.
Take care.
Peace.